Hi, my name is Keith, and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about the laws of transference, and you are and become who you hang around. Now, some people already know this, but you're going to learn it today in this lesson how it goes on to an extent beyond what you've ever imagined. Now, for the people who flat out don't believe it and just still like, no, what do you mean who you are? If you don't believe you are who you hang around, you are already who you already are hanging around. Yeah, like starting off with the people who flat out don't believe that you are who you hang around, you definitely are. It takes the people a long time to see that. Some people think that they're an exception. Some people think that, oh, I just hang around them for a little bit. It was just an hour, it was just 30 minutes. It was just, no. You still are, you fully absorb the energy, and because everything's an energy exchange. Energy, and people are like, oh no, I don't give anyone my energy. Listen to me. Energy goes both ways. When you look at someone and they look at you back, you guys just shared energy. When it comes to, even in practices when it has to do with Kundalini yoga, and they literally teach you how to shut off all your senses so no energy is going out. Truly, the only way that no energy is going out is that, and you're on that person, is just like, you not talking to them at all, you forget their existence. Even you thinking of someone sends them energy. People don't know this. But I think it's very fascinating and very necessary to know. It's a very powerful and strong knowledge for people to even grasp. For example, when someone's doing something with you, it could be whatever is someone attempting black magic on you. You cut them off from your mind and you don't even care what they're doing. You put up your protections, you put up your defenses. Doesn't matter. Their power is taken away. More than 80% taken away. Because people need validity, there we go, of the mind to be in your mind. Now, just think about it like this. You're hanging around someone who's your enemy at work. They have to be you have to be around them. You have to be energetically do some kind of exchange to even validate them. But that's beside the point. That's just an extension of this topic. But I'm talking about even unfortunately, when you're around your enemies, you're still becoming them. You are fully still becoming them, not even partially, fully. Now, if you're in the workplace, there's no exceptions. You're still becoming who you're around. It's going to happen. You go to a gym, you're going to become who you're around. So choose who you send energy to and who you don't send energy to, and you can conserve your energy. If you ever see me at the gym, most likely my eyes are looking up in the air, or at the mirror, at myself. I do, and unless it's someone I'm helping at the gym, and unless someone needs help or advice or something like that. But the reason I have such good results when working out is I don't look at one thing in the gym. I'll literally just use my third eye and just make crystal necklaces and crystal bracelets designed in my third eye. But in the gym, I am focused on the weights. My eyes are on the weights. I am connecting. I am becoming what I am looking at, and I work out. I'm there to work out. Now, when people, and I've fully seen this, so there's different, I'm just giving you an example. There's different crowds at the gym. So let's just say you talk to someone at the gym who, they have a little bit of gossip. Like, yeah, you're talking about the person down there. Yeah, he comes at 2:30 and his girlfriend was there with him last time, but now he has a different girlfriend, but he still has a girlfriend at home. Now you're entertaining it. You don't know it, but you're entertaining. Like, it's kind of fun for you because it's gossipy and it's like, ooh, what is this? And behold, you have become someone who gossips. You got included into that on an energetic scale, on a karmic scale, which is kind of scary because you didn't realize just a few times, talking for a few minutes here and there, you got pulled into the gossip. Yeah. I mean, you can mask it, but you just did it. Now, let's just say you're hanging around people who, and this will be a subtle thing, this will be a non-subtle thing. What will happen is you'll start to pick up habits regardless. Now, for people who talk to me at the gym, who I do let them talk to me, maybe you guys can kind of notice this in your own friend groups. especially no one ever pays attention to this. This is a good sign, but you guys start copying each other's habits, and I mean, neither party notices you're actually exchanging habits. Start paying attention to this because this is happening. Most of your friends who you hang around on a daily basis, they're doing something habitual, very tiny little thing. A little tiny thing. It could be with language, the way they say something, the way they walk or move. It's fun because when you're fully aware and you're fully paying attention, you realize that you're picking up on little tiny energetic habits because remember, everything's an energy exchange. You included them into your energy and into your energy field, and you transferred energy automatically by default just by looking at them. Let alone when you talk to them, energy is just kind of like very slowly. Sometimes it's fast. Let alone when you're patting each other on the back or touching each other. That's a fast energy transference. But when you really engage with someone for long periods of time, they start picking up little habits from you, but you don't really notice because not many people really notice little habits of them. And it's really funny. And you better hope you're picking up on good habits too. You better hope you're hanging out with good people because you will pick up on bad habits. Those are the fastest ones to pick up on. But even I'll pay attention to it because when I talk with my hands. And for people who I'm teaching stuff to in the gym, their hands will start going, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, they don't know they're doing it, but their hands will start going as well. And I think it's just kind of funny. Sometimes I'll tell them, like, hey, you're doing the hand thing now. Like, even, it happens to either side. So I'll start saying a word that they're saying. Even when you watch something, energy transference is happening. It's absolutely hilarious. If you're someone who goes out of your way, and you're very aware of it, that the law of energy transference is there, and you're doing it. I mean, as long as you're conscious, it's okay. A lot of you are very unconscious of what you're doing, and it's hurting you versus you paying attention to it. If you don't like it, you can remove it or remove the person. That's the best way to go. I'll talk about that in a second. But I think this is a hilarious example. I don't know if you guys, for some of the people on my TikTok live, this was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. So, I don't know if anyone knows her. I forget what her name is, but she says, everybody's so creative. Or she says I believe she says that's differently different. And I remember just reading someone's comment and I couldn't find any other. I remember someone's comment being so just out of world, out of pocket, just like alien, extraterrestrial. Like I was just reading the comment and I'm just like, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, that's differently different. I'm like, oh, I picked up on a habit. So even just by watching something, when you guys watch me, you might pick up on habits of just explosive energy, because I'm very explosive when it comes to having energy. The people who I let work out around me at the gym, they'll have explosive bursts of energy because I'm fiery. I'm a firecracker. I'm popped. I'm just full of energy and full of life force. And if I see someone who is just flat out like for some of the people who really get to know me and just be on the phone with me, I sometimes really wake people up. Because if someone gives me a weak response, like, hey, how are you? And like, I'm okay, or I'm sad, I'll surprise them. I'll be just flat out, I'll be like, hey, what do you mean you're sad? Say you're good, say you're great, say you're doing well. I don't want you to be sad, or you're going to manifest that for yourself. So people definitely pick up on energy habits. I have a lot of fire in me, and I just flat out fire erupts. In a good way, though, in a controlled fire, but just in a habit. When you hang around people, people will pick up your habits, and you're going to pick up their habits. Sometimes you guys don't even know where you pick up habits from. Like, even in the smallest habits. If you would like to become, and I'll talk about this in a second, I'm waiting to talk about this. If you'd like to become more successful, you hang around more successful people. If you want to become someone who loses out on stuff all the time, otherwise known as a loser. I mean, it's mean to say that word, but flat out, some people in this world are just losers because they like losing. I don't know what the other example went. I was just going to say another example. Oh, so maybe this fits into this example well, but way back then, I would hang around people, and just because I was in high school, middle school, high school, you don't really get a too kind of a choice of who you hang around at first, because you do have classes, you do have stuff, so you're just kind of thrown together. Especially because I started off in some of the, I wasn't a fan of school. I'll tell you guys right now, I was not a fan of school. The only way you're going to tell me I'm going to pass a class is if you say ooh, if you say I can't do something, I'm gonna do it times 10. So I had a teacher basically tell me, oh yeah, like just middle of the semester, because I was just failing math. I didn't really want to go. I'm like, why am I going to school? Like, you guys are just making me do classes, and it doesn't make much sense to me. Keep in mind, I graduated from the University of Florida. So my teacher literally told me, like, I don't think you have what it takes, even if you tried to pass my class. I legitimately don't think she was serious. I mean, I don't think that she was trying to push me. I think that she just said that to say that. Ooh, boy, did I prove wrong. On that semester, I got F, F, A plus, top of the class, and then I kept skipping the class, F, F, F. I know. What are you doing skipping classes in high school? I was creative. I would skip classes to go to ceramics. I would be making stuff with my hands the whole time. I knew the ceramics teacher, and I'd rather pick up habits from other people who are artistic and creative. So I learned a lot in that ceramics class and picked up a lot of good habits. Because you'll just pick. You don't get to choose. You think you're not picking up on people's habits when you're around them. You are definitely doing it, whether you know it or not. Some of you guys already know it. But another example is way back then, when I graduated high school, and I was around someone who basically, because people will actually correct you whether you know it or not. Like, stuff is going on. Energy is transferring when you're around people. When you let them around you, when you hang out, your energy's hanging out too. Both of your energies are hanging out. Think about it as a pool, and the two waters are slowly being introduced. So there was a person, and I used to say, no problem. No, that's no problem. Yeah, but he's basically said, he said, thank you. I forget what it was for. And I said, no problem. And he said it, just flat out said to me, he was another firecracker like I was, like, what do you mean, no problem? And I'm like, what do you mean, no problem? And he said, when you say problem, you're applying that there's a problem. And I'm like, huh? He says, where I'm from in California, he says, we say no worries, because it's a smooth thing to say. And it implies that there's no worries, and you're not manifesting a problem. You're not, just in general, you're going to start saying, and I started saying no worries, and it's a very specific thing to say no worries. Not many people say no worries. So I do notice from the people I've hung around, even when I don't have contact with that person anymore, that person for the rest of their life will be saying no worries. And some of you guys are already saying no worries, because I pay attention to everything. When I talk to people for over a course of a year, I'll see no problem turns to no worries, and that person doesn't even know why. Keep in mind, you guys have to track energy transference. I'm also someone who's uplifting you guys to your highest frequency. It's good to be around someone who's going to teach you just positive energy. I'm very fierce against negative energy and bad habits and cutting things out. If I scare someone off, I probably told someone that something that they're afraid to hear, or something that no one else has told them and it shocked them. They'll come back in a few months. They usually come around in a few months, or they'll just completely disappear and learn their lesson learn their lesson from life, because I always have to say something that person's angels has kind of been telling them, but they have not been actually hearing from them. So yeah, I'll shock someone. Sometimes the only way to get someone back to life is by shocking them and be like, oh, all right, bad habit, gone. Like, or confront the bad habit. Now no one's ever told you the bad habit, and now it's told you. So another example, even with people who are teachers or mentor figures, they will be teaching you guys new habits. Everything is energy transference. Now those are some examples with either just friends you hang around, or just someone who's a teacher and then someone who's a student. You're gonna pick up their habits, and you better hope they're good ones. Pay attention, guys. Start watching it. Start watching what you like, because not many people. It's really unfortunate how many people are unaware. You have to play the mind tracking game. When a thought comes into your head, and this is one way you're able to talk to guides, or make sure your intention is clear as well. I'll give a little secret right now. If you want to hear some of your angels in your head, like subjectively versus objectively, it's gonna be in your voice. When they start talking, and even when you start meditating and start doing, when your guide starts revealing themselves to you and they're ready, they're going to talk in your head. They're going to send you telepathic thoughts. Other people can do it as well, but the best way you can tell, you backtrack the thought. So who's sending you the telepathic thought? your friend or your guide, or maybe something not good, maybe something dark around your friend, because there's attachments. Like I said, everything's energy transference. Get a pen and a notepad and then write it down. Start playing the thought tracking game. Your thought tracking. Where did this thought come from? Is this a dormant thought of mine? Is this a troubled thought of mine? Is this a happy thought of mine? Start confronting thoughts. Every thought that comes through, because your mind is, as humans, we have some chatty thoughts. Especially if something's going on, and when you start to backtrack the thoughts, you're like, all right, I see where my thoughts are coming from. These thoughts are starting to come. I notice when I hang around this friend, around certain days, maybe, I'll give you guys a good example. Maybe you were vibrant and happy, and you really like this person. Maybe they're a romantic interest, or maybe they're just a friend, and you're hanging around them because you assume the best in them, but you overlook the bad qualities in them because you really see the light in them. You really see the goodness in them. And that person might be a good person, but they're very sad. They're just very, like, they're not really fully aligned when you wish they were, or you might not even know they're fully unaligned because, like I said, you're assuming the best. And that person is just sad. Like, their soul is not at peace. You don't really know it. You're not really, you're not in a position to know it, but you're hanging around that person enough as to the point where when you hang around them for so long and you go home, you start having sad thoughts. You're like, where'd this come from? Well, hopefully you guys are thought confronting, because this video is going to help you. The mind starts with everything. Everything was created in the mind. Every civilization was created in the mind before it was created into reality. Start tracking your mental thoughts. This will help the way you guys manifest. You'll see nothing but blessings when you're able to control your thoughts. Once you control the thoughts, you can control anything else. Mind over matter. Once you truly start creating your thoughts is when some of your gifts will blast open. Like, you will see something nothing like that. Like the monks in the mountains who can do some supernatural things. Once you control your mind and you can control your thoughts, you can control a whole lot more. Now, start tracking thoughts. If you have a sad thought, confront it. That sad thought's not gonna sit with you. I have no tolerance for sad thoughts. If any sad thought, because we are human, we're on this plane of existence where we can sometimes hear other people's thoughts without even knowing it. I'll make a whole different video on that. Let alone, sometimes the entity around someone, or just the spirit of something, or maybe worse than spirit, is around someone, and a little bit of that entity kind of came home with us, just a part of it, and we can sometimes get a telepathic message from their entity. Most people don't even think of this. And you're having sad thoughts. Track the thoughts. I guarantee that thought came from that friend. Energy transference. It's real. Like I said, there's some of you out here in this world who are like, no, I'm just hanging around. I'm not picking up on my... I saw this in the TikTok comment section. This is ridiculous. I'm not afraid to say it's ridiculous. Because I read a comment that, like, I claim that I protect my energy, but you're going to hang around all these bad people? You can hang around all these bad people. Remember, your words and your actions, they differ. If you're out hanging around bad people and you say, I reject their energy, I don't claim what's around them, I don't claim the negativity on them, but you're hanging around them for over 5 hours, you're just chilling with them, you're swapping energies. You are flat out swapping energies. Get real. You are not going to hang around anyone and not pick up some kind of energy from them. Yeah, you can wear every crystal in the world, but if you choose not to separate yourself from people who don't belong on your path, then you will not grow. Period. That is that. Now, this actually can work to your advantage. This can flat out 100% work to your advantage. Okay, now, because I know a few very select people who came from nothing, who came from absolute nothing, and talking to them, and you guys should practice this yourself because it will help you become successful. Successful people will have successful friends. You're like, well, that's not always true. Pay attention to successful people who keep around that one friend. That successful person starts having issues and problems. And their mind isn't right for the reasons I just told you. Now, if you are hanging around people with no goals, if you're hanging around someone who has nothing going for them, you're not going to have anything going for you. You're going to have the same energy picked up as them. And you're going to be in the same box. A whole year will go by and you will not learn because that person doesn't have learning how to get ahead in their thought processes. You got to change who you hang around to become a higher version of yourself. Sometimes it means cutting the bad parasitic, nice, friendly person out of your life. This is a little secret in how you guys can get ahead. One friend of mine, he's very young too. He was around nothing but lowlives in his country, Uruguay. And he removed himself from those people. He cut them out, like viciously. You might be mean. Oh, you might just not be, he's not nice. Or like, oh, he's being, they might call you names. But he put himself around the right crowd. He put himself around some people he forced himself around some big shots. Like actual big shots, not the ones who go like this and don't really do anything. The people who always talk are the people who have the least. Little secret there for you, but he put himself, even when he didn't really have anything, he put himself around the right people because he noticed the energy transference. When he put himself around the right people, a year into it, he started doing right. He started getting right. He started elevating. And now I see from some young entrepreneurs, you want to do well. Yeah, you want your business to succeed. You want to grow. You want to flourish. Why are you still hanging out with friends at a gas station? What are you doing? You're smoking pot at a gas station at 2 a.m. and you're expecting your business to grow? You're expecting your different. I'm not gonna call anyone out, or because I've had certain people who I've been helping just completely stop talking to me because I'll say when I see something and then it's not right, I'm going to say it, and the people will fight me on it. But at that point, it's dark versus light. That's what everything is. Advice triggers you. If there's anything in this video triggers you, it's going to help you and it's going to help you grow. It's something you haven't heard before. It's unique. It's diverse. It's different because it's going to help you. I hope this video has helped you guys. It's taught you a lot. I'm going to do a different series. This breaks off into this different series. But this video is truly going to help you. This whole YouTube, this channel, this video, everything about what I'm doing is to help you guys grow. We have enough people out here doing flat out dark, being dark, having dark habits. It's time for the light to shine. Yeah, it's time for people to know, not just learn, apply the knowledge in what I'm teaching you, and you're going to be successful. I hit every single goal I have ever set out to achieve. I have been called the weirdo. In high school, in college, I was the weirdo. Certain friends did not hang around me. When I started wearing more than 3 crystals, which online says you can. Now I have bracelet lines selling out the first day I released them. And those people are like, oh, you have a bracelet for me? I'm like, you called me a weirdo about a few years ago. Well, what happened to that? Well, I'm starting to, I don't know, like just the energy. Listen, forgive everyone. You're going to grow when you become the weirdo, when you become the strange one. You might be mean or aggressive to the people around you when you say that I don't tolerate this energy. They might gossip and talk bad about you and then you're gone. I mean, after you're gone. But then they're stuck with each other. That's their worst punishment and you're growing. Some of you, it will take years. Some of you will take 10, 20 years to realize this. You're like, why didn't I realize that when I was younger? I have people who say to me, I wish I listened to you a few years ago. I wish I listened to you last year when you said something to me. You weren't in the right space. You were still around the wrong people. You heard some right advice, but you chose to hang around the wrong people, and that energy transferred over to you, and that affected anything good getting to you. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!